Today, January 12, 2026, is my 41st birthday, and I'm doing a retrospective birthday edition. I'm completing the best year journal where you review the previous year and then you set goals for the next year. And this is one of the prompts that I found beautiful. What were your highlights from the past year? Celebrate all the magical moments that made your past year uniquely yours. Reflect on significant events, joyful moments, memorable celebrations, trips and experiences that made you feel alive. These moments may be heroic or intimate, everyday or epic, but they all provided you with a very special feeling. This is especially important for me because this time last year, I found out that my role was being eliminated from a company that I thought I was going to be out for a really long time. Loved my team, loved my boss, loved my boss's bosses. It was important for me to tap into the moments in my heart that I just felt so amazing, and they stick out clear despite the craziness of 2025. There you go. Starting off strong, January 12, 2025, my 40th birthday, I completed my first half marathon. I trained for my half marathon using Scrum 1 week sprints, and because I was iterating every week with my processes and my tools, it actually ended up being an almost flawless day. So this moment was, I had actually already reached my 13.1 miles on one side of the bridge, but I had to cross this bridge to get to where my race team was picking me up. Not only that, but actually at the end, walking more than 5.5 hours, I actually felt really good, which told me that the training paid off. It was super monumental. I loved this moment. Also in January, for my 40th birthday, I told my friends I wanted to do a Moscato wine tasting, and they created one for me. They even researched the best type of Moscatos that I needed to taste. So that's over here on the right. And then they even got a variety of grape juices for the underage girlies to try. This day also included brunch at my favorite restaurant and then getting our nails done. In February, for my 40th birthday, my sister got us tickets to a barista class at one of my favorite restaurants. I love to know how things work. I love experience type gifts, so this was super cool, where we got to learn all about lattes, cappuccinos, coffee types, as well as making latte art. The Sunday before I found out my role was going to be eliminated, I felt a spiritual call to go to Mass for 40 consecutive days. I did do that. It included going actually to Mass. On other days, I watched it online, and I only missed 1 out of the 40 days where I didn't do either. And this moment was on day 40, where I was sitting out by the river at Chattahoochee River Coffee Company. I think it was something like February 25th. Between 2021 and 2024, I presented a topic on 12 tips to get experience as a Scrum Master without being a Scrum Master. One of those tips was on conflict management, and by the time we got to that point, people wanted to dive in and wanted more information. So we got to give the people what they want. And in March of 2025, I presented on Conflict, the Scrum Master's Bestie. This was my third time speaking at the Agile International Conference, which is already an honor. But when I asked for feedback on this presentation, people said, we want more. It wasn't long enough. And that's pretty magical feedback, which is leading me to turn this into a paid workshop. Between February and April, when I was laid off, I participated in my church's involvement in Habitat for Humanity for Lent. They call it the Lenten Build. I volunteered on day 1, where we literally are building the walls in the warehouse. And then I volunteered on the last day of the build, where we are tidying things up and presenting the home to the new homeowner. Habitat for Humanity had been on my life list for a while, and I had actually tried at multiple companies to be able to organize a group to do this, and it didn't work out. So this was actually my first build ever. What's even more special is that my word for 2026 is prosperity. And I've done a lot of work in previous years, and this is where I believe my work will grow fruit. And literally my job for the last day of the build was to lay sod. In May, my sister, my cousin, and I took my mom on a really cool experience called Tea Around Town, where you are having tea time on a tour bus around Atlanta, and there's a tour guide that talks to you all about the monuments and buildings in Atlanta. They also sing, and it was just a really fun activity. And it was fascinating to learn more about Atlanta that I didn't know, even though I grew up in the metro area. One of my favorite days of the year was in July, where a few friends and I spent the day at Chateau Elan Winery and Vineyard. We had spa appointments, we had tea time, we went and sampled some of the wine, and even after my friends left, I went back to the spa area and did some journaling and reading. I remember it being hot as Hades that day, but this moment on the balcony of the winery, I felt really free, and I think you can see it. In August, I went to Walt Disney World with my godson's family, and the magical moment here was watching the joy on my godson and his sister's face and seeing them experience the magic. I got to be his fairy godmother. Also in August, I left from Walt Disney World to go to Denver, Colorado, where I got to cross off a life list item of going to Red Rocks Amphitheater. Everything about that night was magical. The social media series that I did in 2025 that I was most proud of was the This vs. That Scrum Edition series, comparing 1 to 3 Agile and related topics. It was fun to record, it brought out my training muscle, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on this series that I intend to turn into something more professional. In October, I did an impromptu 5K where we ended on the beach. In December, 2 of my friends and I rented a lake house and did a whole bunch of Christmas festivities at a park near where we live, and we got matching pajamas. Finally, I got to lecture at midnight mass on Christmas Eve, where I got to proclaim the birth of Jesus. And I got all fancied up, and it was special. I also started my birthday off today going to church as well and expressing gratitude for the previous year and gratitude for the year to come. Because I view getting older as a gift, because not everybody gets to do that. And I pray that I use it wisely. This was a really cool exercise, and I also would recommend this as a retrospective prompt. I'm Katrina, and I'm the Scrum Mother.